greens, my favorite soul food of all time. So I love to go to a farmer's market for my collard greens because number one, I like to support local farmers and they are just fresher produce. Now I have my ham hocks that I will rinse off. I put them in a Dutch oven, cover with water, enough to cover, bake in the oven at 450 degrees. And you're gonna lower your rack inside your oven to make sure it's able to fit in. And I cook these until they're tender. Usually for me, it's about an hour and a half. The way to know that they're tender is you stick a fork in the skin side, and when the fork sinks in without effort, that's how you know they're ready. This is my favorite part. I just love these things. My mom used to get on to me all the time because I would always eat most of her ham hocks before she cooked her collard greens. Cheers to you, Mom. They taste just as good as they did when they were coming out of your pot. Love them. Miss you. Now we're about to see why collard greens are truly a labor of love. The first thing you have to do is to de-stem your greens. This is how I do mine. I fold them over and just work my way up until the leaf is very thin. The stem piece is very, very thin there. Some people like to cook their collard greens with that thick stem piece in it. I do not, and you'll see at the end why I do not. I just think it's silkier, smoother down your throat when you don't have all those stems there. Now, some of your leaves will have some imperfections to them. What I do is just tear that part off and continue to de-stem the green. Again, you'll see I work my way all the way up until it gets very skinny, and then I tear it off. This is what it will look like when you're done. This can take you some time to do, separating the stems from the leaves. I had about 5 bunches of greens, so it took me a minute to do those. But it's going to be very, very important to rinse your greens. Nobody wants to eat gritty greens, no dirt in your greens at all. So you'll see that I go through many rinse cycles. To get ready to fold these, I stack them up, putting the larger leaf on the bottom. You can usually do 1 or 2, 3 leaves at a time if you're new to this. But I've been doing it for some years, so I like to stack as many greens as possible to get ready to cut them. Because if you do 1 or 2 at a time, it'll probably take you all day to cut these greens, depending on how many you have. So you stack them to the level that you're comfortable with, and then you fold them like so, tucking them underneath. I'm going to grab my knife, so it's going to take a little while for me to go back and to fold these again, but then I start to cut them. Doesn't matter how thick you cut these, there's really no science to it at all. But this is what it should look like, and I put them back in the sink to rinse some more. Once you get ready to finish cutting these, I just dump them in some water and let them continue to soak as I'm doing this whole process until they're all done. And here I'm going to fold some more and give it some more cuts. This one you're going to see it doesn't fold too perfectly. I wanted to give you an idea of what to do when it doesn't fold as perfectly as the first one. Just go ahead and work your way for what you can. Cut and then fold as you get further down the bunch of greens that you've got rolled in. Again, no scientific method to cutting these, you just want to cut them. Then again, I'm rinsing them in some cold water again. Some people put salt in theirs, some people put vinegar in theirs. I just do it with water. You do it thoroughly, that's just as good. Now we're going to get to the good part. I cut up bacon and get ready to cut it into halves is what I do. I'm going to do mine in the Instapot today just so that it cooks a lot faster. So you brown your bacon until it renders all of the fat out of it as much as you can. Once it's gotten to a state where the bacon has rendered its fat, just stirring that occasionally. Then I'm going to add in my chopped onion. I use a full yellow onion when I'm doing my greens. I just love the flavor of it. And then you add in some garlic. Once you've got that mixed in together, add the garlic in there. I do about a spoon, 2 teaspoons of this. And then I pour in apple cider vinegar. I usually use about a tablespoon, but it depends on your flavoring. If you like a little bit more, feel free to add more. After that, I'm going to add the greens a little at a time. I let them cook down a little bit. I stir them up, and then I add the remainder of the greens. It's kind of like spinach. It's going to look like a lot in the beginning, but it's going to cook down to a manageable amount that you're going to eat and feed your family. Before pressure cooking, I added garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, paprika, red pepper flakes. I poured in the juice from the ham hocks and added the ham hocks in there. I pressure cooked for 45 minutes until it was nice and tender. Release the pressure as soon as the Instapot is done. And these are the greens that you have. Some people like to add sugar. I don't. Some people add more apple cider vinegar at the end. I don't. I just season it and get ready to serve it. This is what the finished product looked like. You see there's got some ham hock pieces in there. There's bacon in there. And you can taste the garlic and the onion and all the seasonings that I put in there as well. I paired this usually with fried chicken. In this instance, I paired it with a fried pork chop. For my family to eat for Sunday dinner. Add you a slab of cornbread and you are ready to tear down. Tear down, munch down, throw down. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Throw down. Enjoy. Bon appetit. Thanks for watching. Let's make my mom.